All right, happy Friday, guys. We have 11 games to talk about and running on a little bit of shorter time. We only got about 25 to 30 minutes I'll be live for, so I'm going to go really, really quick. Happy Friday, guys. Let's go over what we know so far. KD was questionable, then got ruled out, so definitely makes, Kyrie and James Harden pretty good plays at the top. Kyle Lowry, questionable. He just got ruled out. Nick Batum is questionable. Again, this is going over what we know so far. Christian Wood, we know, got ruled out. Cody Zeller available to play and no minutes limit. Miles Turner is available to play as well. And then let's see. We have Siakam will play again. Lowry out. Tyler Hero once again out, and Tyler Hero out for 3 more games. We have Norman Powell starting for Kyle Lowry, and I think that's where we're at right now. I'm pretty sure we are up to date. Yes, so that's where we're at. All right, let's just go team by team here. Again, I'm going to go a little bit quicker than normal just because we have 11 games to talk about and don't have a ton of time. So I do want to leave a little bit of time for questions at the end. So let's start with Chicago and Charlotte. We're still waiting on the starting lineup here for Chicago. Wendell Carter Jr. out. I assume it's going to be Daniel Gafford, but we'll see. They could go like Thad Young, go a little bit smaller. Either way, I think Gafford, I would like Gafford a lot more if he starts. We got to keep an eye on the starting lineup news. If he does start, I think he makes for a really solid value play. You got him, Zeller, Boogie Cousins, cheap centers tonight all look pretty solid. The spend-ups, Levine, more of a contrarian option, but still has had, flash upside recently. He's gotten over 50 in 3 of the last 4 games. I'm not going to get to Kobe White. I'm not going to get to Markin in their secondary plays. Like Thad Young, again, probably plays a little bit more, but I don't know if we have to go there. And that's it for Chicago. On the Charlotte side, not a ton I like on this 11-game slate. I think probably one of the guards of Devontae Graham, Rozier, LaMelo Ball have a good game. But again, good luck trying to figure out which one's going to be. Gordon Hayward, just too inconsistent for my liking at that price. PJ Washington seems priced about right. Cody Zeller is the guy at 3.5, will play, and there's no minutes limit. He played 19 minutes at last in his first game that he played. I expect somewhere around like the low 20-minute mark for Cody Zeller, which makes him firmly in play. So Cody Zeller is really the guy for me that I'm looking to on Charlotte. Let's go on to Houston, Detroit. So Houston, no Christian Wood. Obviously, Boogie Cousins becomes one of the best plays of the slate. Phenomenal point per minute guy. Should play mid-20s minutes. Gotta love Boogie. I do really like Victor Oladipo. Point Oladipo, again, his role is different now than it was in the Pacers. I don't think people are still catching up to that. Like on the Pacers, he was not a point guard. With no John Wall right now, he is the point guard. So really like Victor Oladipo there at that price. Eric Gordon, I think, is decent play. The mid-range has got 17 and 20 shot attempts up. Now, not a guy that's going to do a ton of the peripheral stats, but can definitely score the ball. Might do a little bit more than Christian Wood. So I do like Eric Gordon as well. I think the only other guy I'm mentioning here is Jay Sean Tate at 4.9 just because the minutes for him, 30 and 37 minutes. I think he's an okay value play, but not a priority for me. That's it for Houston. Let's move on to Detroit. Detroit's Jeremy Grant for me, and that's about it. And I do like Jeremy Grant actually a good amount. This is a type of matchup where we could see 50 plus from him. He's been really consistent. He's getting a ton of shot attempts up. He's stuffing the stat sheet. I think Jeremy Grant is a really solid play in the slate. I guess you can make the argument for guys like D Rose and Blake Griffin because of the matchup. They're okay options. They're okay. Like D Rose does have some upside at 5.5, does not play a ton of minutes. Blake Griffin up and down. Again, hasn't really flashed a ton yet this season, but I think both those veterans are, I guess, viable plays. The value I'm probably not going to go through. I'm probably not going to go to. I think there's better value options in the slate. All right, we're 2 games in. Let's refresh Fantasy Labs to make sure we're up to date. I know I'm going quick, guys, but again, I want to leave some questions or time for questions at the end, so I'm going to go fast. Magic Pacers. On the Magic side, I think Vucevic looks like a decent play, but again, center is pretty loaded tonight. Aaron Gordon's decent, but not a priority for me. Fournier back kind of takes the rest of the value guys out of play. On the Pacers side, we do have Miles Turner now back, so kind of slight downgrade to Sabonis, slight downgrade to Brogdon. I think all 3 are just secondary plays, and with Miles Turner coming back, it just kind of takes the value out of play for me. So really, this game is one I don't have a ton of interest in. Let's move on to Brooklyn and Cleveland. On the Brooklyn side, it's Harden and Kyrie at the top, obviously. No KD. These are the 2 that are going to lead the offense. Kyrie played 38 minutes in regulation. Harden played 40, so they should play a ton of minutes. I think both the guys look like really solid spend-ups. I probably prefer the price on Kyrie to Harden, 9K compared to 10.8, but both are definitely in play on this slate. Probably not going to Joe Harris, DeAndre Jordan, Jeff Green I think is okay at 4.6, probably gets, mid-30s minutes, a lower usage guy, but I think he's an okay value play. Could you consider a guy like TLC? I guess, but I don't know if we have to go there on this one. So that's really it for Brooklyn. Let's move on to Cleveland. Drummond, Jarrett Allen, splitting center Mets don't want to go there. Colin Sexton, again, got there because of the double overtime. He did have a big game, but again, kind of scoring dependent for a point guard, so I think people might chase it. I'm probably not going to do it. Darius Garland is also back too, which is kind of downgraded everyone else in the team. So really, there's just not a ton of interest for me on the Cleveland side. Boston, Philly, another game I think is a pretty easy fade game for me. I just don't have any interest in anyone, to be honest. Brown seems priced about right. Kemba's going to be limited, which hurts those value guards. Thompson, Tice, they're priced accordingly, so I'm not going to go to anyone there. On the Phillies side, I think you could consider Joel Embiid, but center's loaded tonight. There's a lot of good value plays. I'm not playing Ben Simmons and Embiid not paying Ben Simmons and Tobias Harris and Embiid back. And Seth Curry's now healthy. Takes Milton, takes Maxey out of play. There's just no one on the Phillies side. Miami, Toronto, this is a much better game here. First, let's refresh Fantasy Labs. This is a game I do have interest in because there's injuries on both sides, which we got news on. Okay, we're still up to date on that. On the Miami side, so Bam Adebayo firmly in play again. Center is loaded, though, so opportunity costs. No Tyler Hero. It's Goran Dragic and Kendrick Nunn once again for me. And we are still kind of getting the floor games from Goran Dragic here. I still like him at 6K. Should play about 30 minutes. Should have a high usage rate. I do like him. And I do like Kendrick Nunn off the bench. Should play over 30 minutes. Don't expect him to shoot this well. He's been shot well really well last couple games, 8 of 15, 9 of 12. But he's still an aggressive player. 5-4s is still fine. So Nunn and Dragic for me, and that's about it on the Miami side. Let's move on to Toronto. So Toronto, no Kyle Lowry. Siakam is playing. So Van Fleet and Siakam look like pretty solid options. Probably give the edge to Van Fleet, but both look pretty good here. Van Fleet below 8K, Siakam below 8K as well. The only concern I have with Siakam is he was dealing with a groin injury. So like that's just like a slight concern. So that's why I give the edge to Van Fleet. But I think both are firmly in play with no Lowry. They do get a pretty big boost. Boucher got limited minutes at last game, only played 23. Will he play more with no Lowry? I don't know if his role will change necessarily. So just off what we saw last game and only 23 minutes is a little bit worrisome. So I would put him in the category of GPP only. OG's role doesn't change a ton too at 6'1". I think he's a fine play. The guy that does change is Norman Powell. And I think it catapults him to be one of the better value plays in the slate. Should start and probably play close to 30 minutes. Now another guy that is somewhat reliant on scoring, but minutes should be there for him. I do like him for value. If you want to take a shot on someone off the bench, it's Terrence Davis for me. Terrence Davis it's just a matter of the minutes, right? Will we get the minutes? Right, that's why I said last slate with Quickly. Quickly is a good point per minute guy. Well, he had a point per minute last slate, but only got 10 minutes or 11 minutes, whatever it was. So it's like, I don't know how many minutes Terrence Davis gets, but he's an aggressive player. If I knew he's going to play over 20, I would have a lot of interest in him at 3-4. So he's someone we definitely can consider. Stanley Johnson has been in the rotation, but I don't know if he plays a ton more with no Kyle Lowry. So really, it's Powell and Terrence Davis, I think, get the big boost. All right, guys, we are at 300 viewers, 15 likes. Can we get to 75 likes again? I'll be on for a good another 20 minutes here to try to get to some questions. Would greatly, greatly appreciate that. All right, let's move on to Atlanta and Minnesota. So I think we covered that game. Okay, I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. So Atlanta side, we're still waiting on Hunter and Reddish news, and Gallinari questionable as well. So there's a lot kind of up in the air. Let's see, are we all up to date? We are. So it kind of depends, right? If Hunter, Gallinari, Reddish are all out, then like the starters should play big minutes. Like Trae Young played 39 in regulation. Collins Capella also played big minutes. Obviously do like Capella. It's a smash spot. But like I said, opportunity cost of center, there's only so many centers you can play. So I do definitely considering Capella. Again, smash spot here, just went crazy last game. John Collins would be viable if all his wings are out because he also played 38 minutes in regulation. So like if we get 38 minutes again from John Collins, then he would be viable. So again, kind of dependent on Hunter, Reddish, and Gallinari. Herter, only viable if all those wings are out. Solomon Hill, if all the wings are out and Solomon Hill starts again, we could look to punt with him. He played 40 minutes last game, so it would be an okay value play. Let's move on to Minnesota. So Minnesota's a team I don't have a ton of interest in. It's D'Lo and Malik Beasley up top for GPPs, and that's about it. Like the centers, Vanderbilt started but got in some foul trouble. They went with McDaniels. I don't know. It's a little up and down. You can go to Vanderbilt GPPs. I like him as a player, but not convinced of the minutes right now. I know he was in foul trouble, but still did only play 18 minutes the last game. Naz Reid, Ed Davis kind of splitting the center minutes. If you want to take a shot on one of them, sure. Rubio also questionable. And everyone else kind of just playing not enough minutes. So Minnesota is not a team. Even though I do like the matchup, it's D'Lo and Malik Beasley for me, and that's really it. All right, let's move on to Dallas and San Antonio. So Dallas, Luka and Porzingis, I think I make like two of the better spend ups of the slate. Really do like both in a fantastic spot. So yeah, Luka, Porzingis, love them both at their respective prices. Hardaway, fine play, again, relying on the scoring. Brunson for value has been starting and getting decent minutes. I think he's for sure in play. And then James Johnson as well should probably play mid-20s minutes. So James Johnson and Brunson for value, and then Luka, Porzingis at the top. On the Spurs side, for 11-game slate, I just don't want to mess with this. I just don't. You can try to take a shot on one of these guys. It's really not the best matchup. Dallas has been good defensively, and just every single starter has been basically up and down, besides DeRozan, but we're not really like getting a huge discount on him at like 8K. So it's just like, I don't feel good with anyone on the Spurs. I'm probably just going to avoid. OKC Clippers, another game I will probably be avoiding. Worried about the blowout in this one. SGA, if you think this game stays close, SGA is definitely someone you can look to because he will most likely be the reason why. The value, I'm just not going there in an 11-game slate. And like that 2-game slate we had to consider, and this 11-game slate, there's just no way I'm trying to take a shot on one of those OKC value guys because, like I said, they're just going to go with the hot hand. So I'm just not doing that in this slate. Kawhi, Paul George obviously look good if you think this game stays close, right? If you play one of them, I think it makes sense to run it back with SGA for kind of some correlation. Nick Batum is questionable. Actually is somewhat big news. If Nick Batum is out, would make Marcus Morris, I think, a pretty solid play. I would think he probably gets closer to the 30-minute mark, and then he would be for sure in play for value. So you got to keep an eye on that. Could make Marcus Morris a pretty solid value play. Maybe a few more minutes of guys like Kennard and Lou Williams if you want to take a shot there in GPPs. All right, last 2 games here, Denver and Phoenix. So Jokic at the top at 11K, again, obviously looks good. There's a few good spend-up centers. We have like Jokic, Embiid, Capella, right? It's just opportunity cost because there's a lot of good value at center as well. You got to ask yourself, is it worth it? So Nikola Jokic, love the spot for him. It's just a matter of, are you comfortable enough with the value around him to get him in? Michael Porter Jr. is back, so kind of just takes a hit to guys like Jamal Murray, Will Barton. I'll probably avoid in the main slate. The value with MPJ back, I'm probably just going to take a wait-and-see approach. On the Phoenix side, Phoenix is a team I just haven't really had a ton of interest in recently. Ayton finally had the big game, but then going up against Nikola Jokic, a little bit worried about the foul concerns. Booker just haven't really flashed any upside. Chris Paul, minutes going down on him. The wings, like all 3 are fine, I guess. Probably prefer Cam Johnson. He's the cheapest of the bunch. I think he's an okay value play. Played 28 minutes last game. But that's really it. That's the extent of my interest. Final game here, Knicks and Kings. So the Knicks are a team I do like. Love targeting players against the Kings. Julius Randle at the top, I think, makes for a really good play. Should play close to 40 minutes and just this absolutely smash spot. So do really like Randle. I think RJ Barrett is actually firmly in play too, below 7K. Both these guys should play close to 40 minutes in a really good matchup. So both Barrett and Randle I have interest in. Alfred Payton played 37 minutes, so him and quickly split the minutes, right? Alec Burks coming back didn't affect them. It was just Alfred Payton quickly split the minutes, and they just stuck with Alfred Payton. So he's played 33 and 37 minutes in the last 2 games. Do I trust it? Not really, but you can take a shot here. If I knew he's going to play 35 minutes, I would have a lot more interest in him. It's just, again, at times he'll go with the hot hand, at times he'll be limited, so I can't really feel super confident with that. Alec Burks did play 31 minutes last game, so like I actually think he's an okay play in the mid-range. If he's going to get those minutes again, he's for sure viable at that price, again, in a good matchup. Quickly, you can take a dart here at 4-5, but again, it's just you need Alfred Payton to be limited. If Alfred Payton's not going to be limited, Quickly's not going to play much, right? Alfred Payton played 37 minutes, Quickly played the rest, right? They're just splitting the minutes at point guard, so definitely would not play both those guys together. And that's it for the Knicks. So let's finish up with the Kings. So De'Aaron Fox, I think, is an interesting GPP play at that price. Will be low on the slate. Not really interested in Hield. Holmes is a guy in the mid-range I do like, but again, center is loaded. He's been playing huge minutes. Marvin Bagley is probably my favorite player on the team, to be honest. I know it's weird to say, but he's played 31, 36, and then 29 in a blowout. Was on pace for over 30. If he's going to continue to play minutes into the mid-30s or low to mid-30s, I think he's viable here. So Marvin Bagley is probably the guy for me on the Kings if I had to pick someone. But that's it. All right, let's refresh Fantasy Labs. I know I went quick there, guys, but I did want to get to go through everything and answer some questions at the end. So that's basically it. We are up to date. All right, let me know if you guys have any questions. Again, I'll be on for a good 10 minutes here to answer any questions you guys have. We're still waiting on some news, but hope that did help. We are at almost 400 viewers and 55 likes. Again, guys, let's try maybe 75 likes before the end of the video. Would be greatly appreciated. Nerlens Noel for value. So Noel did play more last slate, but I just have a hard time trusting the minutes for him. Like, I know he did, like, that was the first time he actually got extended. He played 20 minutes, but I have a hard time playing Noel over Boogie, over Cody Zeller, over Daniel Gafford if he starts, right? Luka or Harden, that's a really good question. I think that's basically a coin flip for me. Like the matchup for both. Might go Luka, I guess, if I had to pick, but that's not a super strong take at all. Not at all. Back-to-back, Noel will get more. Yeah, I mean, if you feel really good about that, sure, you can go to Noel. Really, I do like I like Porzingis and Luka a good amount. Yeah. Markkanen, I don't think we have to go to Markkanen. Brunson for value is definitely solid. Yeah, I think Markkanen's okay. I think he's an okay play in the mid-range. Doesn't stand out as an amazing play. Powell or Brunson and SGA or Van Fleet. Powell or Brunson. So I would go Van Fleet for sure over SGA, and then Powell over Brunson. How about Temple today? Not for me. Value play under 4,000. I think it's one of those value centers. So I would say Gafford if he starts or Cody Zeller. Brunson, Powell, or Green. Powell. Nunn or Dragic. Also thoughts on Reed. If I had to pick, I would go Dragic, even though it's a little bit more expensive. I know Nunn had the big game last game. Thoughts on Naz Reed? You can take a shot there. If he stays out of foul trouble, probably plays mid-20s minutes. Yeah, I do like Dragic. Ford, 8.5K. I think it's going to be Porzingis for me. Jeremy Grant and Porzingis, that's basically a coin flip there. I do like them both a lot. I like the matchup for both a lot. So one of those two. Depends. Like if you have Luka, then maybe just go Jeremy Grant there. Would you go Cousins or take save? No, 100% Cousins. Like I'm not fading. There's no way I'm fading Boogie Cousins. Barrett interest versus Kings. Yes, do prefer Randall, but Barrett would probably be the number 2. Also, Alec Burks viable. Spend ups at center. I would say Jokic. Jokic and Capella, I think, if I was spending up at center. But again, the value is really good for center, so it's just the opportunity cost there. Yeah, don't play Drummond with Jared Allen. There's just no way. Curry, nope, not going there. 6,800, yeah, I mean, if those wings are out for Atlanta again, he looks pretty solid. You're stacking the Bulls. Okay, I mean, I don't hate the stack of the Bulls. It is a good spot, but I just have a hard time doing that in an 11-game slate. Like, I will stack on, like, smaller slates, like 5-6 game slates or even smaller than that. On 11-game slate, if you're, like, full stacking like that, you need, like, overtime or double overtime. Yes, Turner's playing. Zeller or Gafford, it depends. If Gafford starts, then it's basic coin flip. If Gafford comes with the bench, I prefer Zeller. So we're still waiting on that news. We should get it somewhat soon here. Eric Gordon or Tate, I would rather have Eric Gordon. Embiid and Booker or Fred VanVleet and Drummond. So I would not play Drummond. I don't really want to play Booker. I would play Embiid and Fred VanVleet. Porzingis or Grant for cash, that's basically a coin flip for me. They're both in really good matchups. I think Grant might play a little bit more. Tough one there. It depends. Like if you have Luka, I would go Grant. If you have, or I guess you're probably not going to play anyone else on the Pistons. So it depends. Like, I don't have a super strong take on that one. Yeah, Gafford or Davis. So Gafford if he starts. But if Gafford does not start, I don't have, I mean, he would still be viable, but I wouldn't have a ton of interest in him. Terrence Davis is an interesting GBP play, right? Norman Powell starting. We're not sure what Davis's minutes are going to be like, but I would say he could push for 20-ish minutes. Green or Cousins? Thoughts on Ellington? He's the value piston that's been playing the most, but I still don't really trust it. Okay to fade the Miami guys. You don't have to play him. I do like Dragic and Nunn. I think they're two of the better plays in the mid-range. Jokic a bad play. I don't know if Jokic is on another slate maybe, but there's too much value at center for me to get really excited about it. Value guards, I would say Terrence Davis and Norman Powell at the moment. I think Kendrick Nunn and Dragic for me, yeah. Hot take tonight? I don't know if I have a hot take. Let's see. What's a super hot take? I'll say Julius Randle goes for 60 fancy points tonight. Jaylen Brown, thoughts? Not for me. Kyle Lowry playing, he's out. Thad Young or Gafford, depends on starting. I would say Gafford either way. But I think Gafford will start. We don't know that for sure, though. They could move Thad Young a little bit smaller. Gafford starting. Okay. Thank you for that, Jason. So, Gafford is starting. Again, how many minutes does Gafford get here? I would think over 20. I would think over 20 for Daniel Gafford. So, like, honestly, it's a tough call for me at center. With Gafford versus Cody Zeller, I don't think either play a ton. But, like, these are two good value plays. So, whichever side you want to go, again, I don't have a super strong take. I don't think either play a ton, but I would say we probably get somewhere around the 20 to 25 minute mark for both these guys, and both are decent point per minute guys. So I think they're two of the better value plays in the slate, that being Cody Zeller and that being Daniel Gafford. So you got to make a tough call there on which one you do prefer. Osman or Nance, I honestly wouldn't play either on the slate. With Garland back, that's just less minutes for everyone. Trey or Kyrie, good question. That's a really good question. I will go Trey because I like the matchup a little bit better, but those are two really good spend ups, Trey and Kyrie. Burks or Brunson, also a good question. I'll go Alec Burks there. Brogdon or VanVleet, definitely VanVleet. So with no Lowry, like VanVleet looks like a really, really good play. Really good play. Favorite spend up? What do you define by spend up? Like how expensive? I would say at the very top, I would say probably Luka. It's a tough call with Luka and Harden, but I would give the edge to Luka slightly. In kind of the 9K range, I like Trey, I like Randall, I like Kyrie. In the 8K range, you got like Vooch, it looks pretty solid. You got Capella, Jeremy Grant, Porzingis, Oladipo. So those are kind of the guys in like each range, I guess. Kelly O's not for me on this slate. Must play in cash besides Boogie. Depends. I mean, I can't really answer that because I gotta save a little bit for Patreon. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of solid value plays that we went over. Markkanen is in play. Yeah, I think Markkanen's fine. Not a priority for me. I would just rather play Gafford for min price. Grant, Porzingis, Brown, or Gordon. That's a really good question. I would say either Grant or Porzingis. I guess if you have Luka, go Grant. If you don't have Luka, then it's a coin flip. Thoughts on Sabonis? With Miles Turner back, I'm not going to go there, even though I'm a huge Sabonis fan. Favorite spend up for cash? Again, probably Luka, Porzingis, or Randall. I would say... That's also really close. I guess Randall, but yeah. Cameron with the $2 super chat. Thank you, man. DK, give me that 35-minute Solomon snipe shoot a hill. Yeah, so thank you. I appreciate the super chat, man. Really do. But yeah, Solomon Hill would be, if all those guys are out, he's for sure in play, right? If all those wings are out, then Solomon Hill is definitely a guy. He played 35 minutes in regulation. He didn't do much with it, but like that could be another value guy we could look to. But again, that's dependent on news, so we got to keep an eye on those wings. Harden or Luka, I have Porzingis as well. So if you have Porzingis as well, I personally would go Harden. I mean, not saying you can't play Luka and Porzingis together on an 11-game slate. You could, but I would probably go Harden there then. Barnes, I would rather have Bagley for sure over Barnes, yeah. Love the slate. Thanks to you, of course. Davis, Nunn, Grant, Randall, Capella, Eric Gordon, Bagley, and Boogie. I think it looks pretty good, yeah. Favorite forward under 5.2K? Let's see, 5.2K and forward. I don't love this range, to be honest. Maybe Jayshawn Tate because of the minutes recently. Like, Roby's fine too. I'm a little bit worried about blowout concerns, but Roby should play mid to high 20s minutes. I would say probably either Roby or Tate. Yeah, I don't love that range though. Leonard or George Kawhi, 3,500 forward. I don't know if there's anything here right now. So, yeah, there's nothing really I think that is viable at the moment. Solomon Hill would be the guy I would look to, but that you have to have news that those wings are out for Atlanta. If like one or two are in, then I probably don't do it. I mean, you could take a shot in a guy like Jaden McDaniels, who played 26 minutes last game, but I have no idea if we'll get close to that again. So it's like, yeah, I wouldn't want to be in that range for forward at least. Again, the value's at center, and guys like Powell and Terrence Davis, Mason Plumlee. I don't think we have to do it. I don't think we have to. Vucevic is always the guy that goes overlooked. He always is. Nunn and Zeller or Dragic and Gafford. I'll go Dragic and Gafford. Zeller not starting. Okay. That's actually kind of interesting that he's not starting. So I think, now with, Biyombo starting, I still think Cody Zeller does probably play around 20 minutes. So I'm not saying he's out of play, but now I might just give the edge to Gafford because I'm a little bit more comfortable with his minutes, I guess. So, yeah. Who scores more, Capella or Porzingis? Love the content, man. Take my like, sir. Hey, thank you. I appreciate that. I will go Porzingis, but I do like both. The reason I prefer Porzingis too is he's power forward eligible. Brunson or Jeff Green? Brunson there. I mean, Blake's not a terrible play, but I'm not really going to get... I would rather just go Jeremy Grant. Yeah, Hero's out, so yeah, Nunn and Goran Dragic look pretty good. Bruce Brown, I wouldn't do it. I mean, he might play a little more minutes. Michael Porter Jr. in his first game back, I'll probably take a wait-and-see approach. Guards around 4.5K, I would say Norman Powell. Roby or Vanderbilt... I mean, Roby's probably a little bit safer, to be honest, just because I think Vanderbilt has more upside if he can stay out of some foul trouble. And we're still just not like, we just don't really know that Minnesota rotation full. So it's like, safety is definitely Roby. Zeller or Gafford. So now I think I slightly prefer Gafford. It's close, though. I still think Cody Zeller probably plays around 20 minutes off the bench, maybe a little less. Randall and Nunn or Barrett and Oladipo. Whew. Man, that's a tough one. I like the upside, honestly, a little bit better with the second one. But, I mean, I really like Randall and Nunn today. I just think Oladipo has a ton of upside. PJ Washington, viable play for sure. But with Cody Zeller back, I don't know if PJ Washington now plays a ton of the small ball 5, right? He was playing a lot at the small ball 5 with Cody Zeller out. Now with Cody Zeller, Biyombo both being in the rotation, he might lose some minutes. Yeah, Zeller or Gafford. For me, it's Gafford, close. Herter, Eric Gordon. Eric Gordon, I don't think that's close. I'd rather have Eric Gordon for sure. Bam or Capella, also a tough one. I'll go Bam, I guess, but I don't know. That one's based at 50-51 too. I mean, those are two guys I do like in that range. Brogdon or Van Fleet. Rozier or Dragic. Do not have none. Dragic. Yeah, Dragic there. Eric Gordon over Herter for me. Switch out Cousins for Zeller. I would not. I'm honest. I'm just being honest with you. I would play 100% Boogie Cousins tonight. I would not fade DeMarcus Cousins. So no, I would not take out DeMarcus Cousins. Grant or Porzingis, yeah, I've been asked that a couple times. It's basically a coin flip for me. I would say if you have Luka, go Jeremy Grant. If you don't, it's literally a coin flip because I do like those guys a lot. Ice Trey and Gafford, Capella and Ellington, it would be Trey and Gafford for me. Is it okay to fade the Nets guards? Yeah, you don't have to play Kyrie or Harden, right? There's a lot of other good spin ups in the slate. Yeah, Cousins for sure. Jeff Green, I think Jeff Green's an okay value play. Yeah, you can play Randall and Barrett together. An 11-game slate. Yeah, it's again kind of the same thing like Luka and Porzingis together. They can still both have upside games. It's a little bit less likely that they both like smash. So if you're shooting for like a huge upside, maybe not. But yeah, I think Randall and Barrett both play big minutes. Can definitely get you there. Terrence Davis, yes, viable GPP play. I'm not going to Milton. Gordon or Powell. I would prefer Eric Gordon. The price doesn't matter, but I like the price a little bit better on Powell. Oladipo and Eric Gordon together, yes, I think you can do that. I think you can. Harden and Bagley or Kyrie and Siakam. No, it's Kyrie and Siakam for me. Yeah, Kyrie and Siakam. Because I think Kyrie and Harden have, I would honestly rather have Kyrie than Harden just because he's like $2,000 cheaper. I think they have, somewhat similar upside. And then it's just, Siakam is just a much better play than, I still like Bagley, but Siakam is just a much safer play than Bagley. 4K forward, I don't know. Let's see. I don't know if there's anyone that I really like below 4K. Yeah, there's not. There's honestly not. I would not play anything here. I would move something around. So I don't trust any of these guys. I would move something around, just like someone said, below 3.5. I don't trust this range. The value is with center and those Raptors guys at the moment. So I would not play anyone below that range of forward. Embiid, again, yes, he's in play, but center's loaded with value. Cousins getting in foul trouble tonight. Even if he does, he still will probably smash. Point guards other than Luka, Trey, and Kyrie. Well, you're talking about like at the top, at the top, it's those guys probably. Mid range, I mean, really like Oladipo tonight. I really like Van Fleet with no Lowry. Those are two I think are the better plays of the slate. I really like Goran Dragic and Kendrick Nunn. So like, there's like 4 other point guards. Bagley or Lennox Bagley. That's not close. Burks or Trey Burks. Aaron Gordon season, viable, will be lower owned, not a priority for me. Oladipo or Van Fleet, no, that's a good question. Those are two I think of the better plays of the slate. I'll go Oladipo because I really like him playing point guard, but I do have a lot of interest in Fred Van Fleet with no Kyle Lowry. Sexton or Murray Sexton. 5,300 for guard. 5,300 for guard. All right, guys, I got 2 more questions here, then I do have to get out of here. I got to go stream for Patreon here. 5,300 in guard. I would go Alec Burks. Don't love it, but I would go Alec Burks. Jake McDaniels, you can take a shot there, but I'm not convinced he gets mid-20s minutes again. It kind of feels like a Kenrich Williams play from a few slates ago, right? Kenrich Williams played like 25 minutes on the bench. A lot of people went to him. I took a shot there, and he only played 6 minutes. So I don't feel good about it. Yeah, that would be Dragic over Graham for me, yeah. Brown from Boston, I don't like that game. Van Fleet, a better point per dollar play than Kyrie. Close. Yeah, it's almost a coin flip, right? Because Van Fleet's at 7.8, Kyrie's at 9K. I do like the upside for both a lot. Got to make it tough. I would say go with the worst of your lineup. I don't think either a bad option. Luka, Jokic, Kyrie, Harden, Luka. Kemba's back. Yep. Dragic and Jeff Green or Nunn and Roby. Dragic and Jeff Green. All right, guys. I do have to get out of here though, so thank you again for the support. I know it was a quicker live stream, but I did want to get it in. I did want to get to some questions. So good luck tonight, guys. As always, keep an eye on the news. right? Keep it. Can't talk. Keep an eye on it. But yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. So good luck tonight, and I'll see you guys all tomorrow.